Thanks once again passing by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you felt it was useful, if you enjoyed it. Also give my Instagram a check. There's links in the description. You can see a little bit of it on screen just there. Give it a check, give it a follow. You can kind of see what I do in my day-to-day life. Now let's get into this. So, Oleksandr Usyk, his return to the ring. Okay, now, I think even up until like Christmas time we were hearing that Chisora versus Usyk is likely. That's likely what's going to be next. We're hearing like either early March, either the 3rd of March or the 28th of March, in around that time. We're hearing Eddie Hearn say all that. We're even hearing words of, a vacant WBO title, maybe a final eliminator, this, that and the other. And that seemed all well and good. But then, I think only a couple of weeks ago, we had Usyk's promoter on the K2 side. It was either promoter or manager on the K2 side, which is the people who co-promote Oleksandr Usyk, the Klitschko's promotion. So they were saying that actually, no, this Chisora fight, this might not even be happening next. So we were hearing, conflicting reports from both parties. So obviously co-promote, so one promotional company is saying this, the other saying the other. So when I heard that, I took a step back and I kind of thought, you know what, if one promotional company is saying the other, then there's obviously something gone right here. So I kind of thought to myself, it's probably unlikely we're going to get this for the 28th of March. And lo and behold, I'm just going to read this here. It says Oleksandr Usyk's K2 promoter Alex Kurzek, I think is how you pronounce it, has clarified that Usyk has not suffered a new elbow injury, because I think there was reports that Usyk was injured or words to that effect. They're saying that he hasn't suffered a new elbow injury or even a recurrence of the original elbow injury. Now, he's saying new elbow injury. I thought that it was a bicep injury that was ruling him out of the fights with Takam, because if you remember, he was meant to fight Takam last May, so I was under the impression that was a bicep injury. Maybe I misread it, but I'm pretty sure it was a bicep injury. It says they merely don't want to take any risks with rehab for the prior issue. So he did have a prior injury, so they're probably worried about that, and they're still thinking, will we take a risk with Usyk against Chisora? Elbow injury, fighters get elbow injuries all the time, athlete's elbow, and they've delayed their Chisora fight until May. So basically what Team Usyk on the K2 side are saying is that Usyk maybe has had, worries about an elbow injury. Did he sustain a bit of an injury in the Witherspoon fight? I don't remember, but I know last year, around about this time last year, he was injured. I think it was actually April, because he was meant to fight Carlos Takam. I believe, in May 2019. And obviously, I think before, about a month or so, maybe even less, I think it was near the end of April actually, maybe less than a month or so before it, he pulled out of that fight, and I'm nearly sure it was a bicep injury. But now they're saying that Usyk, they just don't want to risk rehabbing an elbow injury against Dereck, so that fight's being put on the back burner, at least until May. So it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Now, I'm not saying this is true. I'm not making any accusations, but when I made a video last year, which you'll see actually on screen just there, I asked a question in that video. This was prior to, I think this was the video when Usyk announced he was pulling out of the Carlos Takam fight. And I asked the question in that, is Usyk leaving Matchroom? And the reason I asked that question, I wasn't asking that question just to make up, hearsay. It was because I was told from a good source, a source inside boxing, we'll say inside boxing, but a source high up in boxing, that there was, widespread talk, at least in Team Usyk, that he was looking to get out of his Matchroom contract and sign up with Bob Arum, ESPN Top Rank. Okay, now obviously that hasn't come to fruition. All right, we know that the last fight that Usyk fought was on Eddie Hearn Matchroom DAZN card. We know he's co-promote. I think he's in a 3-fight deal, if I'm not mistaken. But that was something that was reported, and to me that made sense, purely because Usyk, he fought, I believe, Tbilisi Machunu on a Top Rank show. He fought Michael Hunter on a Top Rank show. These were on Lomachenko undercards, if I remember. So we had fought with Bob Arum before, well, on Top Rank shows before, I should say. And, we obviously had a bit of a working relationship with Bob Arum. So to me, when I heard that, it made a bit of sense. Now, obviously, we've heard nothing since about that, and Usyk, as I said, he's been on Matchroom shows. Doesn't seem to be anything, untoward about that. But what I just find interesting is when you hear the conflicting reports. I'm sure things like that will happen with someone who's co-promoted, if he has one side saying one thing, one side saying the other. But when it's so drastically different, when you have one side saying, you know, this fight, it's a done deal, we're getting an announcement made soon, we know what's going to happen, and then to turn around and have the other side say, well, actually, no, none of this has happened. You know, I don't know why you're hearing this. This is what we have planned. It does kind of make you ask questions. But as it stands now, there's going to be no March date for Usyk versus Chisora. Will we even see that fight next? Who knows? Maybe they don't want to risk. I don't want to say they don't want to risk Usyk against Chisora. Maybe if he's not 100%, they maybe will take maybe a little tune-up fight, maybe a little step-up fight, you know, before going down the road of a Chisora. Because let's face facts, Dereck Chisora is a far cry from Chez Witherspoon. Let's not beat around the bush here. You know, far cry from Chez Witherspoon. Chisora probably go through Chez Witherspoon. But I think Chisora probably a bigger puncher, to be fair, than Usyk. Usyk's not feather-fisted, but I reckon Chisora has that little bit more power. But you know, to me, it's interesting. You know, I mean, I would like to know what's kind of going on with Usyk, because injuries were never seemingly something that he had an issue with. And now, you know, we're hearing more about, you know, biceps, elbows, stuff like that. So, I know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please leave a like, subscribe, of course, if you're new to the channel, if you like it. And as always, I will talk to you after.